Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Kemi, and I'm here to talk about Bravo's Love Hotel Season 1, Episode 7. So, this was the second to last episode. We have one more episode left, and we're going to see the ladies choose. So, this episode wasn't really much going on in this episode. The best friends have already left, so now they go on a group date where they're all mingling with they're like doing like this painting thing where they pick an animal and then they paint it, and all the ladies are sitting by a different guy, not the guy that they're coupled up with, or who they're picking between or whatever. So they're all like getting like trying to get a feel for, I'm sorry, have the guys like give them some information, or like get some clarity from the guys, from other different guys or whatever. So they're all talking, and James is doing the absolute most. It's like uh, it's like with each episode you see James, he gets more cringy. And so like everybody else is now like catching on to it. They're seeing it. It's just like something ain't right with him. Okay. You have, I think his name is Mitch. He's there. Like, he ain't really just like talk to anybody. He was there for Luann, but Luann is so focused and caught up in James. So he's talking to Ashley, and he's just basically telling Ashley that James got problems. Because he's just like, I'm a psychotherapist, and yeah, something ain't right with that man. So that's that night. They do again, they're gonna go on this group date, so they go to like a sauna. So they're either they have the cold plunge, the hot, the hot water sauna or whatever, and like floating desserts in another pool part of the sauna, of the the spa place or whatever. So they're all like, everyone's with the guys that they're choosing, or that they're talking to or whatever. And James and Luann, they're in a corner, and it's just like, ew, whatever they were doing, it was just like, ew. But so let's just get this out the way. With Luann and James, she likes him because he's like putting it on, like he's like showing her all this affection, all this love. He's over here talking about, I love her and nobody touches Luann because that's my girl, and all this other stuff. And Luann is just like eating it up, and it's just like, he's giving obsessive vibe, like he's giving like he's that stalker type person, and she's loving it because it's just like, ooh, this guy is like, oh my god, he's showing me all this affection and all this other stuff, and he's love bombing her. And it's just like she likes that obsessiveness from him or whatever. But it's just like, those are all red flags. And it's like, you like that now until he turns into a crazed obsessive person, and then you're going to be wondering, why didn't I pick up on this sooner? And it's like everybody is telling you like, hey, something ain't right, and she's just not listening to it. Because Mitch tried to tell her, and he hit her with that man is crazy, and I'm starting to wonder why you allow it. And she's just like, oh, okay, it's time for me to go. I don't need to talk to you no more. And she gets up and leaves. And it's just like, I'm with him, because it's like, this man is showing you all these red flags, and he seems crazy, like legit crazy, and you're like eating it up. And it's just like, girl, this is a no. Like, let that go as fast as you can. Giselle, she's torn, but not really. She's just here to be here. She acting like she torn between Phil and, what's the other guy's name? Theo. That's his name, Theo. She's, I guess. And she gets a red flag from Phil, because Phil was just like telling her that Cynthia has been to his house before, when he had, like, I guess, a get together, because he knows Mike. And so she's mad that he didn't tell her that he knows Cynthia. And it's just like, he don't know Cynthia, he knows Mike. She's been to the house once. She didn't even recognize that she met this man before. So why even bring that up? It's like, The only thing that I would say is, um, Phil, you act like you don't know who housewives were, and you've had a housewife in your house, and if you know Mike, then you know he's been on the show, so you should know. But unless you really don't know Mike like that, and you just had like a little get together at your house, and you he was on your guest list just by chance, that's different. But it still wasn't like something to write home about, something to get mad about, something to talk about, honestly. But Giselle she gonna try to find a reason to not like somebody always. We see Shannon and Earl. She gave Earl the key to her room because she wants to see like if they can make it work or whatever. And it's like they only have like 2 days left, so it's just like, I guess whatever. We see Ashley. She's like, she's ping ponging between Wale and Ralph, and Wale is like, now he's like done with it. He's just like, I've been fighting I've been fighting for the attention of a woman between a 66-year-old man. And he's like, I'm good. Like I'm um and it's just like, you've been fighting this whole time for her attention. At this point, it's always been you and somebody else. It's never been just you. Like, so you got a day left. So it's like, now you want to call it quits, or now you want to be like, okay, you need to figure it out now. And it's just like, I mean, that's what she's here to do. She's here to meet people and figure out who she has a connection with. So it's like, you can't get mad that she's playing the game the way she should be playing the game. Like, her and Giselle are literally the only ones that are like, that are doing what they're here to be doing. Like, they're getting to know different people to see who they have a connection with. So you really can't get mad or fault her for trying to find who she has a connection with. So it's like, okay, again, you have 1 day left. So why are you now? But I guess so. He tells her, I'm done playing your game. I'm not checking out, but I'm just letting you know, like, I've given you as much information that I can give you for you to make a decision. So at this point, you need to make your decision. Which, I don't know why Ashley's shocked by it, because she has to make a decision next day. So it's like they're counting down, like we're seeing 22 hours, 24 hours, 66 hours until the final decision, until checkout. So it's just like, Ashley, you have to make a decision. Like, so she's like in her feels, but girl, it's it is what it is. The main thing that happened in this episode was the Shannon and Earl of it all. And it's like, I see both sides, but Earl, I was really rooting for you, and you really let me down. Cause it was just like, yeah, you did the most. I mean, like, again, I understand what was on his mind, because basically he has a house in Georgia and he has a house in Florida. And at the time of the filming of this show, was when I think it was Hurricane Helene was like about to hit. So he was like stressed about it, because initially it was going towards Florida. So he was like really stressed, because like it was in the path of his home in Florida. So he was like a little bit stressed, but he was putting on a brave face, is what he said. Because he was smiling, and he was like, he was smiling. They really didn't show him this episode, so I don't know what else happened. The only thing that we saw where he was like really upbeat, or we really saw him, was when he announced that Shannon gave him the key, and then we seen them at the pool, but we really didn't like sit with them and see what was going on. So I don't know if he was like, I don't know what it was. So he comes to her room, and he like he packs up his stuff, and he goes to her room or whatever. And so she asked him, um is like, what's been going on. And he was just like, it didn't hit Florida, it's heading towards Tallahassee. So she was just like, okay, well, that's good. Or it didn't, it hit Florida, but not where his house was in Florida, but it's heading towards Tallahassee. Yeah, I think Tallahassee, Florida. Yeah, I think it was heading towards, or he said it was heading towards Tallahassee because it did hit Florida. So she was just like, okay, cool. Me and the girls are going out to dinner. So they had went out to dinner. And then we see the next day. So they had went out, she had went out to dinner with the girls and she was having a good time dancing or whatever. Um, we see the next thing that we see is that it hit Georgia. And like I said, like to her, like there were a lot of deaths when it hit Georgia. I can't remember. I know when it hit Florida it was bad, but I don't know if, I can't remember if the deaths were in Florida or if they were in Georgia. I'm not sure, but it hit Georgia also. So when she got back to the room that night of the dinner, she had texted him, and she texted him like, where are you at, X, Y, and Z. She went to his room, knocked on the door, he didn't answer. And then so the next day he comes, and he's upset because when it hit Georgia, it hit his home in Georgia. So his home in Georgia was damaged. And she was like, oh my God, like, sorry or whatever. And he was upset because he said she didn't, she like, it's like the whole, the whole thing was just like, what? Like, I was taken aback because it was just like she said, because he was mad that she went out to dinner and she was having a good time while this storm was going on, and she wasn't focused on him. And it's like, you told her that it didn't hit Florida and it was heading towards Tallahassee. She didn't know that it was going towards Georgia. You didn't say anything that it was going towards Georgia. And I don't know if he probably didn't know that it was heading towards Georgia initially, but then once he found out, you could have said something to her, but he didn't. And his thing was, like, she was saying like, you didn't communicate this with me, like you didn't say anything to me. And he's just like, it's not about you right now, it's about me. Like, I'm the one who's been hurt. Like, I needed to be priority, and you didn't make me a priority last night. You went out to eat with your girls, you were dancing on the tables, you were having a good time. And like, my life, my life right now, my house was being destroyed at this time, and you weren't there for me. And it's just like, you did not communicate this with her. You told her that it didn't hit in Florida. Again, she didn't know it was going towards Georgia. Me, I'm not gonna be looking at like the plan. Like, I'm not looking on my phone to see, oh, okay, what's the flight plan? Where is it going next? Like, that's not something that she's like, maybe it's not something that she's accustomed to doing. Like, I don't think they get, like, because she's from the OC, California, they don't get storms like that. I don't know. Like, they don't get storms like that. So she's not watching for that stuff. So she doesn't know. You know what I'm saying? And you didn't tell her that there's a possibility that this could be happening. Like, you weren't letting her know what was going on. Like, you put up that fake front, you didn't say nothing. She don't know nothing. You can't be mad at her that she did not know what was going on because you didn't say nothing. And that he was pissed. He was mad. He was like upset. And so she was crying. She was upset because she was just like, you didn't communicate this with me. You didn't talk to me. And then you came in and you was like you was on one. Like, because he was on one. And I was just like, dang, Earl, like, I was rooting for you. Like, I was on your side. And it was just like, you done messed up. So now Shannon is just like, I mean, we just met and we've already had 2 arguments, and this is not a good thing. And, she's telling the girls, and they're like comforting her. And, Luann ain't seen it for Earl since the beginning, since that whole vegetable comment. And it was just like, Shannon put 20 on 10 when it came to that situation. So they going by what Shannon said in that moment. And it was just like, okay, whatever. but yeah, so Luann ain't seen it for him, so she don't like him, and she was just like, yeah, that's a red flag, like bump him, like let him go. And it's just like, okay. um Giselle was talking about when you had your DUI sobriety anniversary. I've never heard of that. He wasn't there for you. And it was just like, yeah, he wasn't, but at the same time, y'all was into it at that time. And it's just like, it's been too, like, things have been piling up and piling up when it comes to them. And she's just like, I don't know if this is what I want. And so they come, it's the next day, they're all meeting together because I guess tonight is the night that they're going to make their final picks. And so they're like all sitting in the on the couch or whatever talking. And um the what's her name, Ashley, was like, some things transpired, and we heard Shannon's version, we want to hear Earl's version. So like, Joel is just like, okay, well, what's going on, like, what's going on, what's tea? And Earl starts to tell his side of the story, and Shannon is like having none of it, and she's just like, I am so done, like I am like cussing, and I'm just like, oh Lord. And so that's how it ends. And so the next episode we see, this is when they're going to make their final decisions, and it's like, ooh. So my predictions last week was Giselle wasn't gonna pick nobody, and I'm still on that. I really don't think she's gonna pick anybody. If she does pick someone, it may be Phil, because I think that she keeps saying she's intrigued by Joel. No, not Joel. By Theo, but he's too young, and like he's like, I don't. So if she does pick someone, it would be Phil. But again, I don't think she's gonna pick anyone. Luann, she gonna pick that crazy man James. Um, I don't think Shannon's gonna pick Earl, because Earl is really her only choice. So, I don't think she's gonna pick him. And then Ashley, I think she's gonna pick Ralph. I honestly think she's gonna pick Ralph. So I guess I'm sticking with my saying. If I'm not mistaken, that's what I said last week. I think I'm gonna stick with what I got. I'm gonna stick beside him. But no, I think that's how it is. I think Luann's gonna pick James. Shannon isn't gonna pick anybody. Giselle's not gonna pick anybody, and Ashley's gonna pick Ralph. So we'll find out who the ladies pick next week. If you like what you see, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. We have our season finale next week, so we'll see if my predictions pan out the way that I think they're gonna pan out. So I'll see you guys in the next one.